Had a Quran in his car.
Mm-hmm.
He had an L. Ron Hubbard science fiction novel in his car.
A copy of Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret, on his passenger seat. Authorities have no motive yet today.
All right. Let's
Roll it.
fucking go.
Our president will start a war with Iran because he has absolutely no ability to negotiate. He's weak and he's ineffective.
And our interest, I think, very much is in not going to war with Iran, right? It would be a huge distraction of resources. It would be massively expensive to our country.
You ever get the feeling that everything in America is completely
Aged like
fucked
gas station
up?
sushi.
You know that feeling that the whole country is like 1 inch away from saying, that's it, forget it. Let's see, we're on,
Now look, here's a
92
house full
FM,
of bees.
right? It feels like
You think the
high
honey
school
badger
school
cares?
bands
It doesn't give a
on.
shit.
Listen, let's get one thing straight.
Price is right.
Guns don't kill people. I do.
Lizard in my backyard. Can't afford to feed him anymore. Big lizard in my backyard. Busting down my neighbor's door. For a lizard on $1.50. Well, that's pretty neat. Yeah, it's fucking nifty, but I just can't afford to feed it. And you see the way it shits. I got a big lizard in my backyard. Can't afford to feed it anymore. Big lizard in my backyard. Busting down my neighbor's door. I was knocked out of bed late last night. I was woken up by the sound of dynamite. I ran upstairs to find an army man. He said, we gotta blow up those things we don't understand. There's no more big lizard in my backyard. I won't have to feed him anymore. No more lizard in my backyard. They shipped his ass to El Salvador. I think some apologies are in order.
I haven't heard that song in 25 years.
Dude, that
and I
song-
knew the first chord. I was like, oh, Dead Milkman.
Yeah.
Amazing.
That song is about the day and age that we're living in
Yes.
today. It's amazing. Like, I heard that song and I was like, every single fucking lyric is about these lizard people that are ruining our lives. It's so appropriate to today.
Great perspective. I wasn't going there, but yes.
All I could think of.
You got El Salvador in there.
Yep.
Clinton shipping all the immigrants. El Salvador, they had the gang problem, cocaine trafficking.
Yep.
Dude, that was one of the first punk tapes I ever had.
Really?
Someone recorded it for me. It had Big Lizard, Dead Milkman on one side and Black Flag on the other. I would just listen to them just on loop, back and forth.
How punk rock.
Very.
Yeah. That it was a ripped.
Sitting there in my neck gear and my pants. I was 12 years old.
I'm a rebel.
Screw you, Dad.
Speaking of Screw You, Dad, I realized that we kept playing our theme song for the intro
Yeah.
because we were afraid of the copyright strikes.
Yeah, I was wondering what's going on there.
And I just thought, I was having fun doing the music.
Yeah.
thing. The music in the beginning and you guessing what the band is or not sometimes is fun. It's
Yeah.
fun for me. It's fun for you. It's fun for Carlos. And the only reason we were doing the fucking AI generated theme song was to try to
Play the game.
manipulate the YouTube algorithm. I just thought, you know what? Fuck off, YouTube. Get fucked, nerds. We're not doing that anymore.
I think there's also something to be said for, within 2 years, we're going to be in a nuclear holocaust. I mean, none of this fucking matters.
Fucking exactly, dude. Just let's pull the fucking Band-Aid off already.
Dude, I sustained the strangest injury. So I used to sleepwalk.
Sprained your wrist?
No.
Okay.
I used to sleepwalk a lot, like into my late 20s, but it was like a weird, like coordinated sleepwalk where I'd get up. Like one night I got up, took all the cushions off the couch, stacked them in a perfect pile in the hallway, and then went to sleep on the floor by the couch. My girlfriend wakes me up and she's like, what are you doing? And I was like, I have no idea. I woke up once, went into the hall, grabbed my snowboarding jacket, put it on, went back, got in bed. I'd wake up, you know what I mean? Like weird stuff.
Yeah.
Not like stumbling around, like tearing pictures off the wall or anything. Like I'd have a mission. What the mission was, No one knows. But last night I had a dream that I had to work on something and I had to sit and do it, but a chair was too high, so I need like a smaller table. And then I was like, oh, we had a table, like a little table that has a plant on it in our room that, you know what I mean, it's like lower to the ground. I woke up in the middle of the night to pee, and I tripped over it in the bathroom. So in my dream, I actually sleptwalked, grabbed the table, put it in the bathroom, went back to bed. A couple hours later, got up to pee and tripped over the table.
So you actually sleptwalked and did that?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Last night.
How long has it been since you've sleptwalked?
Like
Sleepwalked?
10 years.
Damn.
Yeah.
Wow, what's going on, dude?
I don't know, man. That Bad Bunny halftime show
Yeah.
just rattled me.
I can see how that would happen. Did you ever see that movie Sleepwalk with Me?
Mm-mm.
It was the comedian Mike Birbiglia. Apparently he had like really bad sleepwalking.
Yeah.
Where it almost killed him a few times. And,
Yeah.
like ruined his life. And he has to sleep now in a, he has to put mittens on. And then he gets into the sleeping bag. I don't know if someone zips him up, but he has to get into a sleeping bag with mittens on. The mittens prevent him from unzipping the sleeping bag.
Wow.
And he has to sleep like that, so he doesn't get up in the middle of the night and like jump out a window.
What if he has to pee?
I don't know. Maybe he has a catheter.
That's what they do in Everest. It's too cold to go out.
Just go, man.
We went camping over the weekend. Took the new trailer on its maiden voyage.
Yeah.
Dude, it was so beautiful out there.
Was it?
It was like,
dude,
it was like hot.
the day you were telling me you were going,
It
it
was
was
nice.
such a nice day. I was like, God, that's gonna be amazing.
And
Although you never know because you get out to the coast and could be just foggy and
Yeah.
raining and windy.
This time of year, going off the coast and getting a warm day, like it was
Pretty-
perfect.
pretty
It was
unique.
nice. And the best thing about it is like rock fishing. So you're always posted up from these other people.
Yeah.
And I'm batting like 100% every time. Like people on both sides are just totally cool when you're hanging out with them like all day. Love it. And I start thinking, I'm like, because how far is the coast from us? 30 minutes.
Yeah.
It's like 30-minute drive. And now we're working in West County. So I asked my wife, I'm like, hey, how far is blank from here where we're working? She goes, I don't know, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. I'm like, just like, why do we wait for the weekend to camp? Like we can just come out here during the week, go to work, come back, fish, hang out.
Just live out there.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why there's so many people living in around our job site.
Right, I'm looking down my nose at these people. This guy's all, have fun at work, asshole. I'm going fishing.
It hasn't fucking figured out. Well, the rate things are going here in America, we will be living in our trailers very soon, I'm sure. So.
I had the funniest, funny to me, and probably to you, but is we talk about like just the darkest shit ever all the time. You know, D equals statistics, nuclear holocaust, and the end of the world, end of humanity, you know, forming some kind of militia, going to the gulag and stuff. Now, things are clearly going in that direction and have been for years now. Now, with this latest thing with Iran, I'm like, okay, great. This could be like the beginning of World War III. And then all the stuff we talked about would be coming true.
You mean if we went
Into the world and all this stuff, you know,
Yeah.
cannibalism, the Deagle statistics, like everything.
Yes, culminating in cannibalism.
And so what I was thinking would be fun to do is we would have to pivot, right?
Yeah.
Because now the thing that everyone's talking about, like, what was the point? Like, why do we need to beat this to death? And that's when we shift to a pure, lighthearted podcast only about the NFL.
Right.
Now, the NFL wouldn't. I'm hard pressed to think of a society that simultaneously has cannibalism and professional sports still going on. So what we do is watch old games and break them down like John Madden and have this like fun NFL podcast. And so when people, you know, the power's going in and out, but when they do have the internet and they throw on this podcast, they'd be like, these maniacs are just doing an NFL podcast.
Well, no, the
It's like
beauty-
end of the world right now.
The beauty is there would be no internet,
Mm-hmm.
right? So our podcast would be over ham radio, okay? And because there's no internet, people will forget like who won the Super Bowl in 2002. I mean, Raiders fans won't, but you could go back through the entire season. Every Sunday, we could like recap the week's games.
Yes.
Do like an entire season.
And bring it back to people.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fucking great idea.
So they're sitting there in their backyard chewing on their neighbor's leg, just take them away, give them a little break.
I love that idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was actually kind of partially dreading this podcast because if you're listening in the future, this is the day after the United States attacked Iran for no good reason.
And Israel.
Well, Israel and the United States.
Right, yeah.
And
But I repeat myself.
that's, yeah, exactly. I was dreading it because it's like, I was really kind of pissed off when I heard about it.
I made such a colossal mistake while we were camping. We woke up and it was like, the sun was already starting to peek out. It was like a warm night out there, which never happens. And I was so at peace the night before, had a fire going, no music, and I lost my phone. I was like, I didn't even want it. I stumbled across my phone in the morning. I was like, I'll check the news real quick. It's the first thing I saw, and I was like, why did I do that? This could have waited a day until I got home. I was super pissed at myself.
Yeah.
My wife could tell. She goes, what's going on? And I was like, I kind of cheated on myself. Like, I went, looked at my phone, looked at the news, and we just went to war with Iran.
Yep.
And she was mad that I told her. She was like, I don't know. I didn't need to know that.
Yeah. And so obviously that's what everyone's talking about. And I was very tempted to just not talk about it. But I don't know. It's kind of why we're here, right?
Mm-hmm. Bum everyone out and make some jokes at the end.
I mean, it's hard to make light of the slaughter of innocent people for no good reason. But I guess I just was so pissed off that I was like, fuck it, I'm going to talk about it.
I have to admit that usually I'm pretty good at taking things in stride. I'll just be like, at the end of the day, I'm going to work tomorrow. You know what I mean? Whatever it is. I'm not going to carry this around with me. I got to admit, this one kind of stuck with me a little bit. It's like, this is terrible. This is really, really bad. What it could potentially end up being, what it is.
It already is. I mean, they've already killed innocent people.
Yeah, they just bombed a school with 148 girls, all between the ages of 7 and 12.
Right.
Dead. Why?
I saw someone question on Twitter, why were they in school on Saturday? And I don't know if you know this, but their culture is different than ours.
Really?
Yes. And so their weekend is not Saturday, Sunday.
They probably wouldn't even listen to our NFL podcast.
They don't even go to church, dude. So the girls were in school because it was a fucking school day.
Yeah.
And they didn't know they were going to be bombed. You know why?
Most people go to school with that belief.
Yeah.
I would say.
The Iranian government was in negotiations with the American government when this attack happened.
And agreeing to 95% of what the U.S. brought to the table.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they went to school thinking, well, we're good. They're still negotiating. There's no warning. And then Trump comes out later in the morning saying, stay in your houses. We're going to be dropping bombs everywhere. And it's like, yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, we know. Our daughters were just buried under rubble of the school. Thank you. We got it.
And now the FBI just released that they're on high alert because now they've awakened all the sleeper cells in the U.S. So here we go. I was going to say it's like the Patriot Act again, but that would kind of infer that the Patriot Act went away. It didn't. It only grew. Mm-hmm. So now we're just going to up it a level, like another basically 9/11 kind of situation going on. Hello, CBDC.
Yep. The I don't know. According to Catherine Austin Fitts, they are not ready for CBDC yet. They're racing towards it, but God, she is doing the Lord's work.
She is.
Her organization, Solari, is like actually actively doing things to prevent CBDC from happening.
Have you gone to Solari, their website?
Yes.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yes.
There's so much on there.
I know. They have like a tracker, like a CBDC tracker, like how close we're getting to it. It's pretty cool. But, and it's interesting. She thinks that the whole reason that we are going to war with these Wesley Clark 7 countries in 5 years is because all of those countries. Did you listen to her on Tucker?
Almost all the way through it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fucking great interview. Highly recommend it.
Yeah, it is really good.
Anyone that, if you want a little bit of a distraction from the war happening in Iran right now, take a listen to this interview because she does address what's going on, but they recorded this before and it just kind of takes you back to yesteryear before we were at war with Iran. And
You mean Friday?
yes. She said that these 7 countries were all countries that would not adopt a central bank model. And that's why we had this hard on for all of them. And if you rack your brain and think of another country that's not playing ball with the central bank model, Russia, we are not friends with them either.
Nope.
And nor China. That's why these countries are our enemies. Not because they've ever attacked us or they have any plans to attack us or they're doing anything really that we wouldn't do to them. I mean, they're competing with us economically, like China, but they're not attacking the United States. They have no desire to attack the United States. That would be the end of China. If they got into a nuclear war with the United States, they just can't do it. They don't want to invade the United States. They are just competing with us. And for that, and they will not adopt this the dollar as their Lord and Savior.
The petrodollar.
That is why they are our enemy. No other reason.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because why would it matter? Like, who cares about these countries, these 7 countries in the Middle East? Well, they all have a lot of resources. And if they trade those resources in something besides dollars, then the central bank digital currency model doesn't work. The dollar supremacy, the digital dollar, doesn't work.
Yeah.
What are they calling that? What did the Genius Act
The
put
Genius
into?
stablecoin.
Stablecoin.
Yep.
Right. The more I was dwelling on just how fucked up it is that we attacked Iran unprovoked.
Doesn't that hurt to say? That
Yeah.
we attacked Iran?
Yeah.
And we've been screaming against it. I've been screaming against the stuff since we invaded Iraq. That's when I'm like, I got to start paying attention to this shit. I was like, we're going to Iraq because of 9/11. And like, I didn't pay attention to any politics before that. And it was game on at that point, which I always make the joke. Made me a subversive leftist hippie. Now it makes me a white supremacist, right-wing isolationist.
Hippie.
Hippie. Still drinking raw milk.
I just thought, what? Trump doing this makes him look like such a bitch. It's the biggest bitch out move ever. Because he's not the only president to ever want to attack Iran or to invade another country.
We're going to talk about that. This has been in the works forever, which we've done quite a bit before, but
Listen to we
revisit
opened the podcast
Yeah.
with him criticizing Obama because he couldn't negotiate with Iran
yeah.
because he was going to bomb Iran.
Yeah.
He's a bitch because he campaigned on not doing this. He was the guy talking all this trash. It's like he was going into our MMA gym and just talking mad shit
He's
about
going to just wreck this place.
Totally.
He's got the
He's-
affliction shirt on and the backwards hat.
the established fighters in there. They don't know what's coming. They're all weak and gay. And then he goes in there and
I don't quit, bro. That's the thing, though. I don't quit.
right. I got that dog in me, you know?
Yeah. Just one of those naturals. Okay. All right. Roll with that 16-year-old over there.
Right. And then he walks in the gym and he's just like completely capitulates to, cowers to every fighter in there, and just sucks them all off.
Yeah.
Right? It's one thing if you go into the gym and you just kind of get along with everyone that's in there and you do the same thing that everyone else is doing.
Yeah.
But you talk all this shit in the campaign about how you're going to be the peace ticket and your
Yeah.
these stupid wars that
Oh, but
George
it ended
Bush
in
got us
24
into,
hours and this and that. And
Right.
I re-listened to a clip. It was the 2016, 2015 primary debates, and he just unloaded on Jeb Bush. He's like, your dad lied us into Iraq. You went along with it. Your brother, sorry. And his dad.
And his dad, actually.
If you think about it. And we spent, $2 trillion, a million dead Iraqi, and just like gave this perfect. I remember listening to
nailed it.
I was just like, that was the guy that I kind of believed in, and it's like, and here we are now.
And that was the moment too.
Yeah,
That his campaign took off.
yeah, exactly.
That made him into put him in a league with very few politicians who had the balls to say that.
Yeah.
Like Ron Paul.
Yeah,
Like that separated him from the uniparty, the war party. He was saying, no, fuck all that. And where are we now?
yeah. I don't know. We're gonna get there, but I think I know how we ended up here, and this is something that we've talked about like quite a bit. I was going through the wars just in my lifetime since I started paying attention. 1990 Kuwait, Iraq. 94 Kuwait, 96 Kuwait, 98 Iraq, 98 Afghanistan, 2000 Yemen, 2001 Afghanistan, Libya, Yemen, Iraq, Yemen, Pakistan, Somalia, Yemen, just back and forth, same countries like over and over. And it made me think, because I'm experiencing like a fatigue for this whole thing, because we've been talking about like we're going to go after Iran. It's only like a matter of time. And the conversations that I've had with people that don't pay attention to this stuff, so like, why do you think that? And I'm like, it's written down. You can download it as a PDF of the countries we're going to invade. And there were 7 of them. We bombed 6 of them, and there's 1 left. So it's like, it's just a matter of time. It doesn't matter who the president is. It's just like, it goes back and forth. But this one agenda like keeps going. It'd be like this, like, I'm going to have you over for dinner, right? I'm going to make this big Italian feast. Carlos, you're coming? Everyone's coming. And before I start cooking for you guys, I'm going to give you, like, look, I made a menu of what I'm going to make here. So we got the minestrone at the top, some bread, start some salad, ravioli, appetizer, some lasagna, then I got some calamari.
It's like we're eating at Parlato's.
Yes, exactly. And it just goes on and on. Now I start serving you the dinner, and once I get around to the chicken cacciatore, and you go like, I can't believe you're still bringing all this food out. I'm like, I gave you a list of everything I'm going to give you. Like, what do you mean you can't believe I'm still bringing food out? Like, this stuff is written down. For people who don't know, I'm referring to the Project for a New American Century, Rebuilding America's Defenses, listed out the countries we're going to go on. Now, you reference Wesley Clark came in and said, like, we're going to take 7 countries in 5 years. They weren't just talking out of their ass, like making it up. They had a plan. This was written down. This goes all the way back to 96 with the Clean Break document written by Richard Pearl that was presented to Netanyahu, who was coming in power, is like, this is the new agenda, and this is going to ensure your security in the Middle East. Now, what they meant by a clean break was a break from the peace process.
Right.
Like, we're not going to do this. Let's try to get along with our neighbors anymore. We're just going to bomb them into submission, and it's going to have an emphasis on Western values.
When you say our neighbors, you're referring to Israel's neighbors.
Yes. Yeah, for those of you, if we assume we're skipping past stuff, we're talking about Israel every step of the way. Like, that's what this whole thing is about. And it ensured Israel's security within the emphasis on Western values. That's the regime part of this. And if you look at that list, I'm like, because people say, like, I can't believe we're bombing Iran now. I was like, really? You can't? Like, this is written down. You can read it. It's on the internet. It's been around since 1996. It begins with regime change in Iraq.
Yeah.
And it ends with regime change in Iran. Like,
well,
we are.
Those people believed took Trump at his word, that we weren't going to do that this was a new direction for America. And that's why he won in a landslide in the last election. Mm-hmm. Only to disappoint everybody once again. Shouldn't say everybody. 25% of America is totally on board with this war.
Yeah.
Why? I guess
he's playing 4D chess, bro.
They believe the talking points that Ben Shapiro has just been spouting ever since yesterday morning about how Iran is the
Ben
biggest
Shapiro's
sponsor
that
of-
guy. Is that the guy that said we should change the law so Yahoo could be eligible to run for president? of the
Same
US?
guy.
Same guy. Okay,
Yeah.
I just want to make sure I'm tracking with you here.
The actually, let me play a video of Shapiro talking about why this is in America's best interest.
The world in its own interest, because it is good for America when terrorist regimes that oppose America and shout death to America and sponsor terrorist groups that are anti-American.
Just a note on the shout death to America thing. I have a friend that I work with when I do security at the school, and really cool guy. We geek out on the end of the world all the time. It's really fun. And he keeps bringing up this Christians. I think it's the YouTube channel is called Christian Warrior Training, and this guy is really kind of seems connected to what's going on around the potential attacks on Christian churches, and he teaches churches how to be, how to do security, how to defend themselves, how to be ready for some sort of probably Muslim extremist attack on their churches. And he claims that Iran has all these sleeper cells in the United States, which you brought up.
FBI just announced today.
Yeah.
We're now on high alert.
Right.
Maybe we'll get that tier system. We're in code orange or
exactly.
code brown or whatever.
Code brown is when it's too late. And so when he showed it to me, he was telling me, I'm really concerned about invading Iran, because if we do that, then and it definitely seems like we're going to do that, and he was right. All these sleeper cells are going to attack us here in America. Hezbollah and Hamas, I guess, we know that they're here.
Austin.
And so, but I was skeptical, as I am of everything I hear from anyone, no matter who. So I checked in with this Christian Warrior Training guy, and the sources that he has on his YouTube channel are always like their face is blocked out and their voice is disguised, presumably because they're undercover and they don't want their cover blown and getting hurt by these Muslims. But also makes me go like, well, who the hell is that?
Yeah.
Like, can I really trust that guy? We don't know who he is. We don't know his name. We don't know his voice. We don't know anything about him. And as I was listening more and more, these sources talk about how the United States government is concerned about the well-being of Americans, and that's why they're monitoring all these groups. And that right there, I was like, I don't buy it.
Yeah.
I don't believe for a second that the U.S. government is actually gives a flying fuck about the well-being of American citizens.
No.
They don't.
No, the increase of the surveillance state is always done under the guise of our own safety.
Correct.
And that we're in some kind of danger.
Yes.
And I was like, but we're not in danger. They're like, you are now.
Right, exactly. That's how they get all of this
What
stuff.
if we had a new Pearl Harbor?
Right. All of these changes that we are talking about, the CBDC, the surveillance state, all this shit, the only way that they get this stuff through is through fear.
Yeah.
They can't get us to want to attack Iran out of like love for their natural resources. We should just take them because that's wrong, and nobody believes that you should just go take other people's shit. So the only way you get people to this point is through fear. And that's what I think that all this sleeper cell stuff really is. And just like you were pointing out, like it's just so convenient. Now we have this radical Muslim in Austin shooting up Austin on behalf of Iran.
Mm-hmm.
If that was true,
with a sweatshirt that said Allah on it,
right, and a T-shirt underneath that with the Iranian flag on it, right? So he was in uniform apparently. If that were true, that would make this guy the first terrorist to attack either Europe or the United States who is a Shiite Muslim. If he is Iranian, we presume he is Shiite.
I think he's from Senegal.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So the Iranian T-shirt He just got it like at the thrift store. What are we?
What's with all the questions?
Okay, sorry. Yeah, I just wanted to probe a little bit into this stupid
Just use
story.
the goddamn stable coin. What's the big deal?
So if we aren't afraid, then the stablecoin can't take hold. The CBDC can't take hold. So just don't be afraid, people. I mean, this is gonna be the closing of the podcast, but I'll just say it now. I'll say it twice. It isn't gonna be that bad. If the total fucking economy just collapses and we're all left without jobs and it's like the Great Depression all over again, people survived the Great Depression. We'll survive this. That is better than being enslaved by this digital prison.
Not only that, the generation that came out of the Great Depression was one of the most virile and strong-willed and productive generations that this country has ever known.
Totally. Like, you know what else is hard? Like, going to the gym is hard. It sucks.
Yeah.
But you get stronger.
Yeah.
And you get better at fighting. So you just have to do it. All right. Where was I? What was Ben?
Little eyebrows there spouting up.
Let me just back it up here.
Sponsor terrorist groups that are anti-American and try to develop nuclear weapons.
Oh, yeah. So the terrorist groups, I looked this up. There has never been a Shiite terrorist group that has attacked the United States or Europe.
Yeah.
And Iran are Shiites. They keep saying biggest state sponsor of terrorism.
Yeah.
Right? Well, they do attack another country in the Middle East, but they have never attacked America or Europe. That's what this is about, right? Obviously. So just say it. I mean, you don't mind saying that Israel is the greatest country in the world and America is second place. Just say that they attack Israel and that's why we're doing this.
Try to develop ICBMs and try to develop massive terror exporting. And then work hand in glove with all of our enemies to provide them oil and provide them drones. It turns out it's really great for America when that goes away. So, as I said, there are a bunch of objections that have sort of been put forth here. People claiming this is not America first. Now, again, I'm a little confused how it would not be America first for our chief enemy in the Middle East to go away.
Our chief enemy?
That guy, he doesn't have the face for the rough beard thing. that's not a good look, dude.
Well, he's getting fat. I think he thinks it kind of helps hide the rolls.
I want to touch on something that you mentioned before. Is like I read the list of all the countries that we bombed, right?
Yep.
And went to war with. I mean, it just goes back and forth. So Iraq, Syria, Pakistan, Afghanistan, Syria, Sudan, Somalia. It's Yemen. It like just keeps going and going and going, multiple times, in our lifetime. And I was breaking down each country. I was thinking about this while I was cleaning the house this morning. I was like, each one of these wars that we went into, they were all given their own kind of unique propaganda to go to sell the people on there, right? You have to find a way, whether it's fear or something, you have to find a way that the sentiment has to be changed to support it somehow. Otherwise, it's not politically expedient, which has a huge part to do with this equation.
Right.
And you go like, okay, so Iraq, why did we go into Iraq? Saddam had WMDs. Did he?
No.
Okay. Afghanistan.
Hold on, but also, and he gassed his own people.
Yeah, okay. Well, which they reused that one in Syria with Assad.
And with the Ayatollah.
Yes.
Right?
And the Ayatollah.
He apparently killed 32,000 of
How did the Ayatollahs get power in Iran? What they like? I see these pictures in the 60s. They're wearing mini skirts and bathing suits.
The extremists that everyone in Iran's an extremist had a democratic election. They voted him in.
Happened in Ukraine 2014 too, if I remember correctly. Yeah, interesting. Syria, he gassed his own people. Afghanistan, we wanted to dismantle Al Qaeda after 9/11. Somalia, we wanted to restore order after the civil war. Yemen, we wanted to, their Iranian influence was taking over the country. They want to control the shipping routes in the Red Sea. I was like, each one of these wars all have like a different kind of twist. It's never like we're going into that part of the world for this one reason. Each of these countries has a different thing. So there's not like an overarching philosophy of like why we're in all these wars overlapping continually for the last 30 years, 40 years. There is one commonality in all of these countries, This is what you kind of lightly just referred to earlier, and that is Israel wants these countries taken down. They're a threat to Israel. That's what these all have in common. And when you go back to the Clean Break document and the Project for a New American Century, I'm like, it's written down, you guys. They wrote it down and gave it to us. You can choose to read it or not, but that's why we are having all these wars. You know, we've always had the discussion because Trump, with all his, libertarian-loving platitudes about how he's going to end all the wars, and he was an anti-war president.
He's going to end the income tax.
He's going to abolish the IRS. It's going to give us the Epstein files. I'm hard-pressed to think it's like they have to have, like, it's either he's a complete pathological liar that just wanted power, which could very well be true, or they have something on him. Mm-hmm. To such an extent that, and I've always believed this, we've talked about this before, is like these people get to a certain seat of power and they get, a year into the presidency and someone sits them down and goes like, okay, look, this is how this whole thing works. And you're going to bomb Iran. And then you're going to do this. And you're not going to release the Epstein files. And Obama, Nobel Peace Prize winner, you're going to do this. You're going to take us from 2 wars to 7. He ran on same thing. He ran on an anti-war platform. Obama in 2016 dropped 26,000 bombs on Libya, Somalia, Sudan, Yemen, Syria, Pakistan, Afghanistan. Was given the Nobel Peace Prize just before that. He dropped so many bombs that we ran out of bombs. Wrap your head around that. The biggest military that the world has ever known, we ran out of bombs. Now, if you're on the board of Raytheon or Blackwater or Halliburton or KBR or Boeing, like, this is great news. Turns out most people from Project New American Century were on that board. Mm-hmm. Sure, there's no connection. But the point that I bring up, this isn't, what's the left call it, whataboutism, is I'm making the point, I don't care if it's Bush, Obama, Trump, Biden, Trump again. It's like you can vote harder every year, whatever you want to do. I was like, you're going to get John McCain every time. Lindsey Graham is probably ejaculating all over himself right now because we're bombing Iran. Yeah. Assuming that his body can produce sperm. That guy is squatting out little reptile eggs all over his fucking condo in D.C. right now. And it's like, we get caught up in this pro wrestling aspect. Like, my Democrats are going to sweep the midterms. I'm like, yeah, and then what? Right. Then what's going to happen?
Pretty interesting timing, too, that the Epstein files are peaking, and then Trump decides to invade Iran, right? Like, maybe this is just a distraction, or maybe those people that were telling him, like, no, you're going to bomb Iran, were, like, tapping on the files and be like, that, Mr. President.
That girl was 14, right? Mm-hmm. Lest I remind you.
Yep.
President Trump.
If Catherine Austin Fitts is correct, that this is actually about central banking, then that makes Israel seem like, well, what are they about? They're about central banking. Mm-hmm. And not just central banking, but a digital control grid that controls central banking in the entire world. Like a global bank that's controlled in one central location and controls everybody who uses it digitally, which, if that's true and that's what Israel's all about, then all of this started with the invention of the central bank and the story that's told in Creature from Jeckyll Island.
Right.
Which, when we first started doing this podcast, I just finished reading it probably for the second time, and all I could see everywhere I looked was the Creature from Jeckyll Island in every little thing. Every problem that we complained about had its origin with the creation of fiat currency back in 1913. Mm-hmm. And that's pretty fascinating to think about. Like, what if this really all is stemming from that? It's terrifying, but it's also like, okay, there's a solution to all of this. Like, just get rid of that one thing. There is a silver bullet.
Mm-hmm.
that could solve all of this, right? And just imagine how great the world would be if that had never happened. You know, without the central bank and the ability to print money and the ability to just completely take over power, which that has allowed them to do, to subvert the Constitution, just absolutely rape and pillage all of the people of the United States, decimate farms and manufacturing and people's health and the food quality in our country. The freedom that would flourish all over the world if that one thing was just removed. And I know that sounds like, if you haven't read that book, like, it probably sounds a little Pollyannish to think that, like, you just correct this one thing and the whole world just turns, like, amazing. But I really do believe that's true. And here we are again. We're faced with World War III now, or God knows what. Maybe, hopefully it's not that bad. But if Iran responds by attacking the United States,
they're already playing that card out. 3 U.S. servicemen were confirmed killed this morning, and a bunch of others wounded with a missile strike. And I thought, I'm like, okay, now we have the card to play of, well, they're killing Americans. I'm like, here we go. We're up and running. Yeah,
once they do that.
You guys on high alert, we're going to increase the surveillance state. They killed some American soldiers. Like, you're going to get just people, the pure emotional sentiment of like, well, there's got to be retaliation for that. You're saying.
Did you hear this dummy on the news talking to it was like defense minister or something from Iran?
So for clarity, you
NBC
said
News.
that your missiles cannot reach the United States by design, that you do not want to reach the United States, but you also said it would be necessary as a defensive vehicle, that you could if necessary. So to be clear, are you committing that Iran is not and will not build missiles that would have the capability to reach the United States?
I can confirm, yes.
Sir, if that's a red line for you, why is attacking U.S. military bases abroad justified?
But because they are attacking us.
You fucking idiot.
U.S. military, installations, facilities, bases who are attacking us. We are under attack. Why don't you, recognize this fact? We are under the attack by U.S. forces in the region. So we have every right to defend ourselves. And how to defend ourselves? We attacked, the U.S. bases. This is obvious. This is a very simple fact. And I hope that, and I'm sure that people would understand that. We are not the one who attacked Americans. We are only defending ourselves.
Yeah, duh.
That actually made me sad. It was kind of rough to watch, actually. I was thinking of the kids dying. It's easy. I think we tend in the U.S. to be kind of flippant, and I can't wait to tune into my favorite AM radio talk show host tomorrow with the libertarians.
Yeah,
they're probably just so happy right now.
Totally.
They were fucking bombing Iran.
They're going to use all the same excuses, like, well, they're the biggest state sponsor of terrorism, and they killed their own people. He killed 32,000 people.
Mm-hmm.
Really? 32,000 people? Don't you think we would have noticed 32,000 people? Like, almost as many people as Americans died in Vietnam. He just killed them in a week.
By the way, as an aside, no big part of the talking point propaganda that's supposedly trying to sell us on this war in Iran is that we need to take out their nuclear capabilities. Am I going crazy? Or 7 months ago, was I told we just took out their nuclear capabilities?
Took out their nuclear capabilities they didn't actually have, according to our own intelligence service.
So I am going nuts.
Yeah. And speaking of Trump being a bitch, another bitch move is to attack a country while you're at the negotiating table with them.
Yeah.
Which they did in December when we attacked them the first time.
Yeah.
We were in the middle of negotiations. Surprise attack. Surprise. Blow up their nuclear facilities.
Yeah.
Then we do it again this time. We're at the negotiating table. They're capitulating to 95% of what we're asking. Surprise! We just blew up your all-girls school.
When I was like 22, 23, something like that, going out to the bars guy, we went out me and a bunch of my friends, and then we ran into some other guys and their friends. And as dipshits in their early 20s are wont to do, we start kind of jawing back and forth with each other. And you can tell like a fight's ready to break out. Now I have certain guys in my group that were like, I love this. This is like why I go out, and they had their fair share of those guys. I'm not one of those guys. And I could tell one of those guys was like me, not one of those guys either. Just like, oh, fuck, like, I guess we're doing this. And I pulled the guy aside. I'm like, hey, dude, can I talk to you for a sec? I said, hey, man, this is not necessary. Like someone, I don't know what you think happened, or, you know what I mean? Why don't I take my guys, take your guys? Like, let's not do this. The guy's like, yeah, dude, totally. Let's put a stop to this. I'm like, shake on it? He goes, yeah. And as I'm shaking his hand, his friend fucking punched me in the face. I ended up fighting with the guy. I'm like, well, I guess we're fighting now.
It's exactly the right move, right? If you need to go to war, then you can't allow this like peace talk to happen over here. Fuck that.
This thing with Iran, though, is kind of like a fool me twice, shame on me thing, right? They should have saw this coming.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, you get punished in the prisoner's dilemma. You get punished for trusting your opponent.
In fighting, we look to create repetition with our opponent. If we can catch them doing something and notice it, we catch them doing it a second time, we know they're going to go for it a third time. So at this stage of the game, if Iran sits down at the table of the United States for another meeting, they ought to just probably not show up.
They should hire you to help them with their strategy.
You know what's frustrating to me is what I was talking about earlier. Is like this was all predetermined decades ago that we're going to do it. I mean, you and I have been talking about it for years, and to have the people like surprised, like I can't believe that we're doing this. I'm like, they basically, you're the guy at my Italian dinner. Like I can't believe they're bringing more food out. It's like I gave you the menu, dipshit. Like did you not read it? Like. There's a PDF. It's you go there and you click a button. It magically shows up on your screen. Like here's the countries we're going to invade. Iran's the last one, and it's the people that are like surprised or thinking this is like some kind of new event. Like that's where I experienced like this fatigue. It's the guy on a. I was like, no, you didn't read the menu that I showed you. You wanted to sit there with your eyes fixed on your TV, your mouth hanging open. You wanted to hear about Stormy Daniels and Russian collusion. I'm like, this is like actually like what's going on. And the same thing for like the people on the right, like, you know, they're saying like he's just playing 4D chess. He knows exactly what you're doing. Okay. I don't want to hear you in 3 years going, it's like, how on earth do we end up with a Newsom Ocasio-Cortez administration? I'm like, this is how you get it. Like, I don't want to hear about it.
Well, yeah, but don't be fooled into thinking that Gavin Newsom and Alexander Ocasio-Cortez wouldn't have attacked.
No, I'm saying that's my point. This whole thing, like, it's going to be the exact same thing because what you're going to do, whether you're the guy watching MSNBC or the guy on the right that's super pissed that Gavin Newsom's president, it's like both you pay attention. Like a year into his administration, and some reporter asked him like, hey, like, so do you have anything to say about these like huge protests out in America? Because it seems to be like libertarians and Democrats and socialists and, you know, Republicans all on the same side of the street holding up signs like no more war for Israel. Like maybe like connect some dots there, you know, and his response is something along the lines of, you know, he's kind of arbitrarily pontificating upon like Israel's our greatest ally and we need to combat anti-Semitism on the internet. Like and you go like, that's what the last guy said. And I hate the last guy. It's the same thing, like over and over. Newsom 2028, dude. Everyone's going to get a bullet train. It's going to be great.
I had a thought the other day. You know, we say that there is no two-party system. Mm-hmm. It's a uniparty. There actually is two parties. It's the uniparty and then the three people in Congress who are opposed
and
to the uniparty.
Thomas Massey and Ro Khanna. That's all you get.
Who actually represent the American people better than the other 500 people in Congress.
Yeah.
Right? There is two parties. It's us versus them.
Yeah.
Those are the two parties. So when election day comes up, take the Liberty Tree advice and just vote no.
Yeah.
Okay. Or, you know what? Go run as not a Democrat or a Republican and see if you can get in there and be a Thomas Massey.
I was going to say, go run into the backyard with your ballot, take a piss on it, put it in the envelope, and send it in. It's just as useful. No.
I tuned into about 5 minutes of it. Yeah.
Do you think it's just still like the WWE show where you have half the room not stand up and not clap and then making comments? It's
100%.
Completely pro wrestling.
100%. They will disagree on these little tiny things that don't make a difference, like genderless bathrooms or something.
Access to abortion for trans women of color. Cory Booker.
Talking about predicting all of this or how all the information's been around for a long time. You guys seen the screen?
Yeah.
Yep.
What does it say? And Albert Pike. Third World War will occur between the political Zionists and the leaders of the Islamic world. The war must be conducted in such a way that Islam, the Muslim Arabic world, and political Zionism, the state of Israel, mutually destroy each other. Meanwhile, the other nations, once more divided on this issue, will be constrained to fight to the point of complete physical, moral, spiritual, and economical exhaustion. Yeah, it sounds about right. Mason.
Anyways, this stuff. Oh yeah, he was the. I couldn't give you the whole rundown on Pike, but he was one of the top dogs in masonry, at least sort of modern masonry. Obviously,
that was like guys in the
masonry
trades.
Goes back to King Solomon, but
going back to Ben Epstein.
You're going to have to explain that one to me. If we were talking about millions, hundreds of thousands, tens of thousands of American boots on the ground fighting house to house in Tehran, the way that the United States did in Baghdad, then you'd have to make a stronger case. And I will, by way of side point here, make a point made by my friend Ben Domenech, who's now over working with us here at Daily Wire. Ben Domenech made a great point a little bit earlier this evening to me. He said, here's the thing about American foreign policy. You can explain until you're blue in the face why things are good for Americans. If they end well, Americans like it, and if they end poorly, Americans hate it. Americans knew precisely why we went into Afghanistan, because Al-Qaeda murdered 3,000 American citizens. That war went poorly, and Americans turned against it. And you can fail to explain properly why Americans make a foreign policy action, and if it ends well, Americans are basically okay with it or triumphal about it. Americans like victory, and they do not like losing. The president has no intention of losing here.
Okay, I'm just going off, but he is getting fat, by the way.
Yeah. Doughboy, you might say.
You gotta get him on the podcast. Talk a little pigskin with that guy. You don't have to wear those fake eyebrows in here, buddy.
The fake eyebrows.
So he's going. Okay, so he seems to be kind of concentrating on the importance of like selling a war, whether it's in retrospect or going into one, and how Americans like triumph. They don't like failure or whatever. Okay, as it pertains to the Middle East, which is what he's talking about here right now. Is there any war that we have been involved in the last 30 years in the Middle East that turned out for the good?
No. Well, this one will.
This one will. Okay,
Yeah.
This one's different. Okay.
Exactly.
So why don't you just get on board with socialism? Because that's the exact same talking point that I hear about that,
argument.
or communism.
Totally.
Like, it just hasn't been done correctly yet.
Totally.
That's like, okay, we have a track record of the ones I went through. We have, let's say, over 30, all fucking disasters. I was like, this is why I always say, it's like, how is this one going to be different? At some point, we go like, no, I'm done. I'm cutting you off.
He's wrong that the reason that we are against those wars is because they went poorly. They did go poorly, and that is a awful side effect of these wars. But us declaring war on Iraq and Afghanistan and every other one of Israel's enemies, and it going well.
We didn't declare war. We just started
Good
one.
point. Excellent point. Yeah. But if it went well, which I don't know what that definition is, what does that mean? That now we control that country? They become a colony of the United States? Like, then all of a sudden it's okay? No.
Yeah.
The biggest argument against these wars is that it's immoral. It's immoral to kill innocent people.
Over a million people in Iraq just alone.
The outcome of the war is that. That is part of the outcome. So you can't have a war go well where you've slaughtered innocent people. If you just went in there and they just, all threw down their weapons and gave up, and then they became a colony of the United States or of Israel, that still is immoral. You can't just go around taking over other countries, even if the Bible tells you can.
Ted Cruz.
Right? Which I don't know if you have read the Bible recently. I was reading it this morning. And it does say in, I believe it's Genesis 15, that God is giving, let's see, how does it put? The children of Abraham, the land between the Euphrates and the Nile, will be theirs after they slaughter millions and millions of innocent people and take it by force under any means necessary. So with that in place...
to the river, to the sea, more or less. Is that what we're talking about?
I think that's something different.
Okay. So to quote the Bible, to utilize geopolitical strategy, we're talking about... large parts of Iraq, Saudi Arabia, Yemen, Palestine, Gaza, all those places.
Yeah.
So
this is okay.
Okay. Good to know.
So, but seriously, like I did read that, and it says that and not that I think that using the Bible to justify worldly political action is right. I mean, the Bible is for spiritual action. But it does say in the Bible that the descendants of Abraham will inherit this land between the Euphrates and the Nile. It doesn't say...
So that's why Trump's doing this? He's just he's a fundamentalist when it comes to the Bible.
He says
he
is.
Bush and Obama.
He says he is.
Hillary Clinton.
Mike
Biden.
Huckabee is. And Mike Huckabee said that it would be okay for that to happen. But it does not say in the Bible that it can be that you should take it by force and murder people. And so it just says that it will be inherited by those people. And that's up for a lot of interpretation. You better have a lot of confidence in what the actual meaning of the Bible is to feel like it's okay to murder innocent people in order to make something in the Bible come true. As long as it comes true by any means necessary, you can go ahead and do whatever you want to do.
Does this say anything in Genesis about fucking kids? I didn't want to bring that up in church.
I think it says it's wrong.
Okay.
Yeah. That's
I just always assumed that.
That's another good point. Like the stuff that's in the 10 Commandments, let's say, all of that stuff makes sense.
Yes.
Right? Every commandment
it makes sense in the fashion that you don't even need to read the 10 Commandments. Like we intuitively know this as human beings.
It's intuitive.
Yeah.
You shouldn't murder. Don't murder.
Don't sleep with your neighbor's wife.
Right.
Don't steal.
Yes. It doesn't say, if there was a commandment that said like, every third Sunday, make sure you go and molest a collie, a border collie. If you're the father of the house, you would read that and be like, hold on. All right, that's
the first 9 on board. Totally. Number 10, like we're not total fundamentalists in the South. We don't need to.
All right, I'm going to play one more Shapiro clip here.
Has done. In order to understand what President Trump is doing geopolitically, you have to understand the consequences if he didn't do it. If President Trump had left the Iranian regime in place after it murdered 32,000 of its own citizens in violation of the President of the United States' red line, if the Iranian regime continued to rebuild all of its military and nuclear facilities, which is what it was doing, if it continued to do that and President Trump did nothing, the geopolitical consequences for the United States would have been disastrous. Why? Because China looks at that, and maybe they make that move on Taiwan. Russia looks at that, and maybe they really up the ante in Ukraine. President Trump is the president who will not allow, under any circumstances, the threat of force to go away. He understands better than anyone that the credible threat of American military force, he doesn't like using it, he doesn't want to use it, but the credible threat of American military force is the thing that keeps America in the driver's seat globally. That is what he was doing. He is pushing China off the ball with regard to Taiwan. He is pushing Russia off the ball with regard to Ukraine. And yes, of course, he is getting rid of the cancerous regime in Tehran, which has spread its terror tentacles all over the world, predominantly in the Middle East, but yes, also in Europe, where it has pursued terrorist attacks. Yes, in South America. Yes, in Latin America.
There are certain tells that you get from people that you can tell they didn't play sports growing up. So when you say something, they're pushing Iran off the ball. I'm all, that's not a thing.
Right.
You don't push someone off the ball.
You know that, like, if you get pulled over by a cop and he's like, "Yeah, you're going pretty fast there," and you're like, "Yeah, you know, I was late for this meeting, and you know, I got my kid in the car, and you know, I was
my wife,
something.
She's pregnant.
Yeah, she's pregnant. Yeah, and I was
dog's got pargo.
God, and I've been volunteering at the local, you know, old folks home. Going in there, it's like,
and I'm just on my way to church here, and I'm just red faced about this whole thing.
If there's a million reasons why you did something, then you were wrong.
Always said that the truth comes in a shockingly small package.
Right. And I like how he said, I don't know if you caught this, but he said that the Iranian regime has pursued terrorism in the United States and in Europe.
Yeah.
Which is different than they did terrorism. They committed terrorist acts in these places.
I'm pursuing a wakeboarding boat. However, I cannot afford one at this time, and I have no plans to buy one.
The other talking point you hear a lot is that Donald Trump did not want to do this. Everyone keeps saying that. I don't know if you noticed this.
Yeah, I haven't heard that one yet.
Yeah, so he just said it. I heard someone else on the news this morning say it. Like, he's not a war guy. He really didn't want to do this. It was a really tough decision for him. It's like, okay.
Or was it written down in 1996? We've had it this whole time.
All right, let's
dude, I don't think the Gavin Newsom Ocasio-Cortez presidency in 2028 is going to be that bad. I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
It will be fun.
It will be fun. Almost like that part of me that I kind of wanted Kamala to win. Like,
yeah.
Let's just rip this Band-Aid off.
Well, could it get worse? I mean, has Trump done anything that...
No, it would have been all the
closed
exact
the borders.
same.
Okay, so maybe the borders will be wide open.
Yeah.
But all the other shit is gonna be exactly the same.
And we would have gotten Ukraine to join NATO, so we'd be probably at war with Russia as well.
That would be bad.
Yeah.
But I doubt it.
Yeah.
I doubt we're not going to go to nuclear war with any country.
No.
Which is why, by the way, Iran wanted nuclear weapons.
Mm-hmm.
Because do you know what all of the countries that are on the axis of evil list, do you know what they do with their nuclear weapons once they get them?
Mm-mm.
They tell the United States to go fuck themselves.
Yes.
And we do. I'm like, all right, fine. And it's no surprise that this happened to Iran after they totally just got on board with the JCPOA and were playing ball. They were allowing weapons inspectors in to check their nuclear program. They were fully like on board.
Yeah, because we have a system here that if you have nuclear weapons, like through the U.S. and NATO, which kind of U.S. basically floats NATO, you go around and you have inspectors can go in and see exactly what you have.
Mm-hmm.
Every country.
Yep.
Right? Am I missing
that,
a country
that has nuclear weapons?
Except Israel?
They don't have nuclear weapons.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So what does Trump do? You know, I think Trump had Obama derangement syndrome because when he came into office, he had to tear up the JCPOA because it was Obama's thing.
Yeah.
Right? And that's what led to where we are now.
Yeah.
But maybe it was just written down and he had to do what was on the piece of paper, or the Epstein files would have actually come out.
Yeah.
Okay, so There was this bit of positivity from Catherine Austin Fitz when she was on Tucker.
Okay, I obviously did not make it to this part.
That I just gotta share with you guys. We'll go full screen for this one.
Always. I'm not mad about any of that, actually. What makes the West so different, the English-speaking countries, is that their populations are all dying. So it does seem like it's more than incompetence. It seems like hate to me, at least as measured by its results.
Right. Right. So there is definitely a targeting and a destruction of that.
That's the way it seems to me. It's like, okay, so you're in charge. We make a bunch of money. You get the most of it because you're in charge. That's corrupt, yes. But it's also just the rule. I can live with that. But if you're trying to kill me, even as you're extracting the fruit of my toil, then it's like, no, this is an undeclared war against me. That's what I perceive.
That war is on. But if you look at who's implementing that war, they don't have a culture, an ethic, or a Mandarin class that can go the distance.
I agree with that strongly.
Okay. So,
can you flesh it out a little bit?
Yes.
Our ruling class isn't designed to survive and thrive. Is that what you're saying?
They're going to fail. I'm sure they're going to fail. Now, I don't underestimate the damage they can do before they fail. But, one thing I will say about China, if there's an argument for China's success, it is because it has a Mandarin class and it has a tradition, of hundreds of years of that Mandarin class. And that's what you need. The reason I left Washington in 1998 and I said, I'm out, these guys are going to fail, is whether it's the group destroying the, our equivalent of the Mandarin class or the Mandarin class itself, they did not have a culture, an ethic, a vision that could go the distance. They weren't good to build an advanced civilization. They didn't have what it took.
What an interesting observation.
That is awesome.
I know, right?
I did not make that.
We're going to win. Our kids are. Maybe our grandkids. Who knows? But we got to, be as positive as Catherine Austin Fitz. It's not a wrap yet. We still have all our guns and all our ammo, and we're game. Let's fucking go, right? And they're a bunch of fucking nerds who suck at everything they do except for this money thing about manipulating. All they can do is manipulate our money supply to make us do what they want. That's their only skill, their only ability.
Yeah.
We are so much better than them. And we're not that good. And we're still way better than them.